So, you own some dividend stocks or thinking about buying dividend stocks in the future? Congratulations, because I really think dividend stocks should be part of any serious investor's portfolio. Looking at the recent market dynamics myself, I've been really getting interested into dividend stocks again and started buying a number of them. The only challenge I had with it though is, how do I properly track my dividends? Because let's face it, most brokers, they really do a poor job in displaying your current dividends and projecting your future dividend income, which is actually so powerful to see it compounding and see your future earning potential. That's why today I'm going to show you a couple of tools that you can use to really visualize your dividend income projections and get you fired up about dividend investing. To start off with, let me show you what I mean. My main broker of choice is Interactive Brokers, where I have my biggest part of my stock holdings, but actually you can see here no tab for dividends. In fact, I have to go into portfolio and then from here go into my individual position. Let's say I remember I got a dividend payment recently from Apple, so I would have to go into Apple, and then even here it's not very clear. I see there was an event, okay fine, but then I would have to go down, and then basically here in transaction history, I see the measly amount of $174 that I got, which is nice, you know, obviously that should compound over time, but it's not really exciting, right? I don't really get hyped up. How much is it going to be worth in the future? What was the track record, etc.? I have no idea. And as I said, most brokers actually do a really poor job treating dividends. The best possible way with Interactive Brokers is actually going into performance and reports, go into portfolio analyst, then go over here into reports, and from here you can have your detailed reports, and obviously you can choose which period. Let's say I want to say from inception, from when I started, and then you're going to have to click here into detailed PDF. It will download a second, and then you're going to have the PDF with all numbers of your portfolio since then. Right, so then you're going to get a very detailed PDF with 33 pages. Now, let's be honest, who has time to read through all of them? I mean, it's actually really powerful and insightful, but it's way too overwhelming for the average investor just wants to get started. And as I said, in terms of dividends, there's hardly anything. Only at the very bottom, you have to scroll down here, and then you will see here projected income. And that's actually what I mean, that makes it a little bit more exciting. So when I zoom into here, I can see here my different stock holdings, what dividend they paid me, and I can see here estimated annual income. So that's basically my dividends for the year, 196 euros. So that's nice, right? I can see the more I invest, obviously that number will go up. Just yesterday, I did the same report. It was only at 160 euros. Then I bought a few more dividend stocks, and immediately it reflected the additional dividend shares I will be getting. And obviously it increased to 196. So now I'm seeing the excitement. Obviously the number is very small. That's for the whole year. But the more I buy more dividend heavy stocks, that number will go up. So that's what I mean by getting excited about dividends. And then obviously there will be the compounding effect as well kicking in later on. So again, it's very simple. It's not really visualizing well, but it's a good starting point in case you're using Interactive Brokers. But overall, it's not really pretty to look at, nor get you excited. Right, so what other options you have? Obviously, one of them could be using a Google Sheet. You could head over to Etsy, and there you can find a lot of Google Sheets, Excel sheets, what have you. And there are a lot of dividend trackers, overall portfolio trackers that you can download. Some look better than others, and it's really not bad. I mean, look, you can buy them for a couple of pounds or euros. It does a decent job. You can actually create them yourself. It's not rocket science. However, the only issue I have with those kind of sheets is that it requires manual input. And honestly, I want to reduce manual work. I mean, we're living in times where AI is really taking off. So having to manually input things into an Excel sheet or a Google Sheet, for me, is just not really exciting. But if you do enjoy that and don't have many transactions, then that could be a good way to track it manually. Another option I've been using for the longest time is actually Yahoo Finance Portfolio Tracker. And the great thing is it's free, it's easy to use. I can have it on my app. I have a widget so I can immediately see what's my total portfolio balance, and it allows you to add different assets. So I have my stocks here, my ETFs, my crypto. So that's really nice. When I go into my stocks, I can see here what are my different positions, all my holdings, etc. But the only thing is, again, for dividends, it's not really ideal. First of all, it requires manual updating. So if I wanted to buy a new Apple stock, I would have to go into here and then click on add a lot and then basically add what shares I bought at what price. And so that's really not ideal. And again, you have to remember doing that. And second of all, it does a poor job of displaying your dividends. So for dividend investors, it's once again really not the best options. It's good to keep an overall track of your portfolio. Once again, if you don't trade a lot, you can do the 2-3 trades you do manually. I still put them in here just to have an overall idea and direction of where my portfolio goes. With just a glance at my mobile phone, I can see how my portfolio is doing. But for serious investors and tracking your long-term dividend growth, once again, Yahoo Finance is probably not your best option. Then recently I came across a really great new app, which is called Finary, and that aims to track all your assets and liabilities to really track your net worth over time. So a really quite interesting app, which I haven't seen anyone else doing. Usually they focus either on tracking your crypto, your stocks, your savings, what have you, but an app that brings it all together is really rare these days. I haven't found anyone else doing that. So it's really great approach and the idea is really good. They have a web interface and an app, which is really sleek. And looks very nice. Honestly, I was quite impressed overall. I really wanted to like that app. As you can see here, you have assets, you have liabilities, because your net worth is your assets minus your liabilities. So it's very important to track both. A lot of people only track the assets, but forget that they have a huge debt, loan or mortgage outstanding. And you do need to factor that in when you want to calculate your net worth. And from here, you could easily add any other assets you want. So you just click on add, and you can see here so many different asset classes, your checking accounts, saving accounts, real estate even, your loans, life insurance, stocks and funds. So in my case, stocks and funds, you can automatically link your broker, and that's really powerful. In my case, I linked my interactive brokers, but all you have to do is basically put your broker in here, broker of choice. You can see here trading 212 Revolut. So any of your portfolio changes will immediately be reflected over here. So that's really cool. I linked my interactive brokers account and it really worked seamlessly. And then obviously you can go into that. Let's say I added my stocks over here so I can see all my stocks, and then you get some basic analysis, which is really cool. And obviously they're pushing you to go into the paid plan, because right now it's the free plan, but then obviously they promise you more insights, especially for dividends, if you go to the paid plan. So with the paid plan, which is around 10 euros per month, you can obviously get additional features, which can be quite powerful. If that's relevant for you, then definitely check it out. So overall, really a great app. The only issue I had with it, when I link my interactive brokers account, you can see here, sadly, my portfolio development only starts from the day I imported it, which is really a shame, because obviously I want to see the long-term development, and that's not really useful if it just picks it up from here, because I started using interactive brokers in 2001. So there's much more transaction history, and somehow it didn't pick it up properly. So that's a little bit of a caveat. If it's not important for you, then it doesn't matter. But other than that, really overall, a great app, which has a good long-term potential. And I'm definitely going to keep an eye on this app. Another great option is the dividend tracker, which I heard a lot of great things about it. The only issue I found with it though is it's mostly based on US, Canada and UK stocks. So I have quite a bit of European stocks as well. And unfortunately at this stage, they don't allow you to track European stocks. So if that's not an issue for you, definitely check it out. I think they have really some powerful graphs, but obviously right now it didn't make sense for me to pay for it. Once again, they have a free and a paid plan. On the free plan, you're quite limited on what you can do. If you want to go for the paid plan, obviously you have a lot of access to many things, but obviously as it says over here, US, Canada and UK stocks only. So if you have any other than that, this app and website probably isn't for you. Next up, we have Getquin, which is also a great option, and that is actually free of charge completely. There's no paid plan, which is really good. I always enjoy free plans. And yeah, as you can see over here, you can have all your assets in one, which is really good. Very powerful insights as well. And you can actually join investment communities. So it's kind of Twitter embedded into that app, but financial Twitter. So kind of, you can really talk about all things money, and it's really nice. It also has a good dividend tracker, so you can kind of visualize your dividend growth over time. And that's what I said is the power of dividend investing, because you want to see these graphs going up over time, right? That's what gets you excited, how you can optimize your yield, your returns, see upcoming earnings, as you can see over here, which is really good, and to track them, see how it grows over time. I mean, that's the whole point of dividend investing. So once you've set up your account, it's very straightforward. You have your portfolio here, your portfolio holdings, and obviously overall returns, and you can see here your dividends and the breakdown and all your transactions. So if you wanted to add your portfolio, you can just go over here, portfolio, and then from here choose which option you want to go for. You can have manually imported via PDF or open banking. Now sadly at this stage they don't support all the banks, so if I wanted to import, let's say, individual stocks, I would go into here, import, and here you can see the brokers that they work with that allow them to automatically import your portfolio. It's mostly German or German speaking banks, so if you have one of them, it's definitely a great option. Unfortunately, most international banks are at this stage not supported, so in that case you would only have to have the manual transaction option and manually import all the transactions. So if you've been trading for a number of years, that could be really tedious and time consuming. They do have a great app though, everything is for free, so I really like the option overall, and I still think it's much better than tracking it in a Google Sheet. But as I said, for myself, I really want ideally as much automation as possible, so at this stage it's not an option for me. Another option I've been using myself actually for a number of years now is Portfolio Performance. It's completely open source and free. Unfortunately, there is no app for it, and I think it's a little bit overwhelming and complicated. I've done a whole video about this tool, reviewing it in all details, but you can see over here really some quite powerful graphs that you can do with it, and you can really customize it to your liking. So the more you use it, the more insights and detail it gives you. Unfortunately, once again, it doesn't automatically link with any of the brokers natively, so you have to manually import it or via PDF if it's supported. So if you do enjoy it, it's a great option, and you can really customize it to your liking and see some great graphs. But recently I've been using it less and less because it does take quite a bit of time to update every single trade for myself, and since I started trading a bit more recently, it really became a bit too time consuming for me. With this, let's move on to the two last portfolio trackers, which are actually my two favorite ones. So the first one is called Track Your Dividends. They call themselves the best free dividend tracker app. even though it's not completely free. They have a free component, but as most of them also have a paid component. They sadly don't have an app at the moment, but overall the interface is really quite powerful. And yeah, as you can see, really get some nice insights over here and a good dividend analysis. So if I go into my dashboard, I signed up already. Right now I'm on the trial for the paid plan. So usually you won't see all of the things I can see right now. It's a little bit more limited on the free plan, but once you have the paid plan, it's actually really powerful. The amazing thing, as you can see over here, I basically link my Interactive Brokers account, and that automatically pulls in any trade I've done on Interactive Brokers and updates it here in real time, which is really, really cool and saves so much time rather than having to manually input those trades. So if I go back into my summary, I can obviously see my portfolio yield. I can see the yield on cost, and I'll do future videos on dividends to explain you more things and details, what is important to look for, etc. when you dividend invest. These things are obviously very powerful numbers for dividend investors. Here I can see my currently very small dividend income, but as I said, now that I invest more consciously into dividend stocks and ETFs, that number will definitely grow over time. And from here, obviously, I see all my holdings, a dividend safety score, which is also really a good score to have, which takes into consideration the dividend payment history and increases over time. I have here my different sectors if I wanted to see more details. I can see here what I'm going to be getting at what point of the year. And from here, I can go into the upcoming dividends. So I can see once again the overview of what's going to be happening. I can see the average, the highest. I can even set up dividend alerts. So I'll be getting notified by email once a dividend has been declared. Then I can see the stock payout calendar by ticker symbol. So I can see Apple, obviously, as we saw before, already paid my dividend. That's actually the amount you'll be getting because it's a percentage of your holdings. So that's really good to see. It does it automatically. So I can see what I'm going to be earning in March, what I'm going to be earning in June. And yeah, it's just really, really much better than so many other brokers. It's so simple, but at the same time so powerful. And it's a shame that Interactive Brokers or other brokers don't offer such functionality. Then I can also go into diversifications to see how I'm being diversified, what are my largest holdings, my smallest ones, income by sector, etc. So some good more insights if I wanted to. And they have a nice future value calculator if you wanted to kind of see how your portfolio is going to look like in a couple of years from now. So as I said, overall, a really great platform to use. They have a free plan. Obviously, you can only link one account. So if you have brokerages with different accounts, you would have to go for the paid plan, and then you can auto import those. I think for that is really reasonable, and you're going to get more insights. Obviously, not all of the functionality I've shown you right now are available in the free plan. So you can do the trial and see if you like it or not. They don't have an app right now. And right now, I must say, I struggle a little bit with the synchronization function because actually yesterday I sold my Amazon stock and I added a bit more of LVMH, and somehow since yesterday it's still not reflected here, so that hasn't changed. So I hope it's a little synchronization issue which will be fixed, because if it does end up not automatically synchronizing and have to relink every time, then it kind of defeats the purpose. So hopefully that's just a glitch, but just keep that in mind, try it for yourself. Other than that, I really love the overall interface and platform. And lastly, we have Simple Portfolio, which is actually currently my favorite tool of all of them. I really enjoy that tool and start looking at it every single day. It's really such a simple tool as the name implies, but I really love the overall design and flow to it. And you can really get some powerful insights that I wouldn't have with any other brokers. Front and center is your overall portfolio. You can see here really from the time you started investing back in 21, at least with Interactive Brokers, but you can change time period and it will change on the fly, which is great. And then you can see also your profit and loss. So that's really powerful to see by month. You know, I was only a few months in profit and most of the time in loss. But once again, I understand the market dynamics long term. I'm a long-term investor. This is going to turn out just fine, definitely. And from here, you have some powerful insights overall, your price return, your dividend return, which is currently that amount, the fee ratio. Obviously right now I'm paying a little bit too much fee with Interactive Brokers, but I've recently changed my pricing structure from fixed to tiered. So now my commission structure has come down, and that will obviously improve over time. But it's good to see your overall fee ratio, because most people actually don't know about it unless you really use a commission-free broker. And I challenge you, if you buy your stocks or ETFs through a conventional bank account, you're going to be shocked how much you pay in fees, because it's ridiculous. They charge you an arm and a leg. That's a powerful ratio to look at. And then my active return. Then I can see here at a glance my overall holdings. I like that they have the icons over here. It looks very nice, very clean. I can see by holding what is the percentage, the net profit and loss, and so on. So that's really good. And then a couple of more numbers if you wanted to drill in: the asset allocation by dividend class, the tax report I can pull from here as well, and my last transactions. So that's really nice, and actually, once again, much more visual than I would have with Interactive Brokers. I can see the fee for every transaction, what I bought, when I bought it, what is the surprise, etc. So really nice. And most importantly, what I love about this one is the dividend part. So you can see here how my dividends have been growing over time, and I can drill down further to go into upcoming dividends. And this is really where the magic starts taking place. You can see here obviously the graphs overall, the upcoming dividends, who's gonna pay me next, the payment date, the country where it comes from, and the amount. So that's really great. You can see here, for example, BlackRock gonna pay me €6 in dividends next month simply by holding their shares. Obviously, it's a small amount, barely pays for my Starbucks coffee, but you can see how that over time, the more I invest in them, starts adding up, and it's a quarterly payment. Usually dividend payments also grow over time. Then I can see here the dividends by year and month. So obviously in 21, I got only €14. Then in 22, I was paid €145. And then in 23, that is only the amount that has been declared so far. But obviously, as you can see here, there will be many more dividend payments coming for the rest of the year. And as I showed you in the beginning, in the active brokers account, it will be around €192 at this stage. So obviously that's a nice growth over last year. And once again, there's this whole snowball effect of compound growth. I will reinvest my dividends into buying more stocks of the company, and that will compound over time. Then you can see it by stock class, by month, by period, how much each one paid me. Obviously, my biggest payer is the Vanguard, the S&P 500, so which paid me €120. And then once again, all the dividend payouts over here as well. Now, since the tool is fairly new, they don't have an app yet, but hopefully it's something they will add in the future. And they also don't have auto imports from your broker. But to add a trade, it's very simple. You just go over here. You can see here the supported platform. So if you have any of those, it's super simple to export. You can always import manually, of course, but the easiest, if you have any of those brokers, I think that's really one of your best options. And then you would just basically go into active brokers. I can show you right now. It's very simple to do. You just go into performance and reports, and then you click into flex queries, and it shows you the first time you do it, how to set it up. It literally takes 2 clicks. You can see here already is my simple portfolio app export. I just click on here and then choose the period. Let's say for today, I'm going to run it. It will take a second. It's downloaded. And from here, I'm just going to drag it into here. It takes a second. It updates my portfolio, and boom, I have my latest portfolio imported and ready to go. And you can choose if you want to do it after each trade, you want to do it on a weekly or monthly basis. It's really up to you, but it really takes a matter of seconds and it's done. So it's not fully automated yet. Hopefully will be added in the future as well, but I really enjoy the process. And it's so much faster than having to manually enter it into a Google Sheet.
Actually, one cool thing I forgot to mention about Simple Portfolio is the ability to have a public portfolio. So anyone with that link can see your entire portfolio and can see any trades you do, what is your portfolio composed of, your returns, your dividend income, etc. As a thank you for all my YouTube channel members, I will make that link available to any members. So if you're not a member of my channel yet, then feel free to join, and I'm going to shoot the link right to you.
The pricing is very fair, and actually the lowest of all the various price platforms. They have a free plan, which obviously has a few limitations. Then they have a small plan as well, which you can go for, or the medium plan, or the large. You know, it depends on your requirements. You can have a look through. For myself, most likely the small plan is fine, which, you know, includes 100 trades. So unless you do more than that, you can go for higher plan. It has one portfolio. I only have my interactive brokers portfolio linked to it. And then obviously you get all these dividend calendar insights and so on. So that's really a nifty plan. So I really think that's a great option if you're serious about growing your dividend portfolio and just want to overall track your portfolio better and get deeper insights. I really think it's a great tool for that. And if you want to check it out, then please use my link in the description below, and you're going to get 1 week of free trial of any of the various plans they have, and you can play around with it, see if you like it, see if it adds value, which I'm pretty sure it will. Let me know in the comments if you maybe know any other great tool that I missed. I'm always keen to learn and check out new tools. Next up, check out the video over here, which YouTube think it's going to be a great watch for you. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel. It means the world to me. As always, stay healthy, get wealthy, and I see you in the next one. Ciao.